It's time for a Bears Now mailbag. Use hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Just see a Super Chat coming in. We'll get to that here in a second. But first, the Pope eats Portillo's. Damn right. He's from Chicago. Congrats. He asks, while neither will likely get moved this year, who do you think was put on more notice with the offseason additions, Cole Kmet or DJ Moore? We got this question on another video, so I wanted to throw it in here. And it's interesting because there's been some kind of crazy rhetoric out there like, oh, they could trade DJ Moore, they could trade Cole Kmet. Not right now, they're not going to. Like, that's not going to happen this offseason. I mean, could they? Sure, but that would be silly to do. That being said, with the draft picks of Colston Loveland and Luther Burden III and the way their contracts are structured, that becomes at least a possibility, I would say, starting next offseason. Let's look at DJ Moore first for a potential 2026 trade. You would save $16.5 million if you traded him at any time after this season. It would be a $12 million dead cap hit. So, notable dead cap hit. You're saving more than half of what his cap hit is set at right now, which is $28.5 million for next year. So, that's a notable number. Post June 1 trade, you'd save $24.5 million and would only eat a $4 million dead cap hit. So, again, very possible if they wanted to go that route. Now, what would lead them to doing that? Does he have a second down year in a row? Does Luther Burden show a lot? Roma Dunze take that next step? I think a lot would have to happen for them to pivot off DJ next year, but it's at least a possibility. Cole Kmet, I would say, is even more of a possibility. You save $8.4 million with the pre-June 1 cut, only eat $3.2 million dead cap. That's pretty insignificant. If you wanted to post June 1, I don't think it's enough of a difference where you would wait till June 2nd, but you actually save $10 million and only eat $1.6 million. The reason that one's more likely is, well, you're not eating as much dead cap money. And B, if Colston Loveland, by the end of this year, is the clear tight end one moving forward, well, do you want your tight end two making $10, $11 million bucks? You could say yes or no. If you're running a lot of 12 personnel, you might be fine with it. Maybe see if Kmet's willing to take a pay cut because he has zero guaranteed dollars after this season in terms of cash flow. So, again, I'm not predicting either of these guys. I think these are still two pillars of this football team, especially for this year. But I do expect Luther Burden and Colston Loveland to apply pressure. I mean, Ben Johnson said it, like, we're turning up the heat. We're bringing in lots of competition in here. It's going to be a competitive training camp. So get your bootstraps on. Like, this is not just going to be show up, you're the top dog no matter what. Like, if you're not performing, you're not going to get as many opportunities regardless of who you are and what your status is. Okay, who is more likely to be gone in 2026? Type CK for Cole Kmet, DJ for DJ Moore. I'd probably say Cole just based on how the contract is, but I still think both will be here next year. But depending on how this year plays out, that could certainly change. Shout out to Jealousy with the $50 super chat. We appreciate that, Jealousy. I'll be sure to get you a helmet sticker on our Bears Now Helmet Hall of Fame club. How far away are we from an ideal Dennis Allen defense? It feels like he's going to want a safety at some point. And, they didn't really add one this offseason. But Byard is going to be 33 next year. Brisker's in the final year of his rookie deal, and he's got the concussion history. I would imagine Dennis Allen is going to get his hands on a safety, whether it's a draft pick or a free agent next year. So keep an eye on that position. And then maybe you're like one edge rusher away. Could be a linebacker too. There's a chance Tremaine Edmonds is gone after this year, but I think he's got a lot to work with. I think there's a lot of bodies on that defensive line, especially at defensive tackle. Hopefully a couple of those guys can really emerge and take the next step. But I'd say you're a couple of pieces away, but I do think it's not like the cupboard's empty either. There's pieces here. Colton Stone, what is the Chicago Bears Mount Rushmore? Gosh, it's hard to cut it down to 4. I mean, locks are obviously Walter Payton. I think you would throw Brian Urlacher on there. I personally would go Devin Hester. I know people would push back on that, special team or whatever. He's my favorite Bear of my lifetime. Like, I didn't watch Walter Payton, right? Like, he played in the 80s. I was born in 1993, so I can't claim that one. I would put him on there, but I didn't watch him. Obviously, watched a lot of Urlacher growing up. I'd have those 3 on there with Hester, admittedly, kind of just personal one. And then, you could debate a lot of guys after that. if you really wanted to. So you guys let us know in the comment section below who your Mount Rushmore of players. I mean, you would think a lot of defense, right? I mean, just the linebackers over the years, Singletary. I mean, you could easily put Ditka up there, player and coach. That's probably the answer, for being honest. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of legends, so to cut it down to 4 is pretty difficult. Okay, we are sponsored by Rocket Money. Shout out to Rocket Money for sponsoring today's show. If you're looking to cut back on your spending and help grow your savings, download the Rocket Money app. It'll help you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and help lower your bills so that you can grow your savings. When it comes to spending, sometimes it's out of sight, out of mind. That daily coffee habit, those streaming subscriptions, they add up pretty fast without you even noticing. Rocket Money helps you spot those patterns so you can do something about them. Keep more money in your pocket. That is Rocket Money's goal. That should be all of our goals. You can easily create a personalized budget with the Rocket Money app with custom categories to help keep your spending on track. See your monthly spending trends in each category to know exactly where your money is going. You can do basic banking things too, like, upcoming bills. They're going to have those listed out for you. You're going to see all your subscriptions listed out. You can check your credit score. It's all very easy to navigate. Download the app today. They have 5 million users and have saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions alone, saving members up to $740 per year when they use all of the app's premium features. So get started at rocketmoney.com/bearsnow. rocketmoney.com/bearsnow. One more time, it's rocketmoney.com/bearsnow. Use our link today. Okay, Mike Nintendo Master, who do you guys want at running back? Nick Chubb, I think you mean J.K. Dobbins or Jamaal Williams. Well, he's asking you guys the question. You guys feel free to chime in there. I'd probably order it that way. You could certainly argue that Dobbins, especially coming off last year, maybe he's slightly safer, but he's got a rich injury history. If it's close, I think I would take the gamble and try to go with the more upside with Chubb. That's probably where I would lean. I don't know if any of those are major needle movers, which is why I would work them out first, do medical checks. But again, what I've said is what I'll continue to say. If there's a player out there that is a clear upgraded RB2 over Monungai, Roshan, whoever it is, I think that's a player worth signing. If it's not, you probably don't sign him. So that's kind of where it sits for me. Soldier Bear 85, if this new Bears regime with all the major changes and big investment ends up failing, do you think it's time to admit the Bears are cursed, destined to never get it right? I mean, I think words like that are always get thrown out, and like, this team is cursed. And it's like, well, the Cubs were cursed until they weren't, right? The Lions were cursed until they weren't. They're one of the better teams now. But admittedly, like, if Caleb Williams is a clear-cut number 1 pick, Ben Johnson, the offensive coach everybody wanted for 2 years, like, if this doesn't work, it's just like, when is it going to work? Like, it will eventually, but when? It's pretty tough. So I'm still optimistic about it. I will admit, if the next 3 years go by and it's 3 straight losing seasons, Caleb flames out, and Ben Johnson's over his head as a head coach, that's going to be tough. That next coaching search would be like, I've done 3 of these already now. It's grueling. Or I guess I've just done 2. Feels like 3. But a lot of QB talk. It would just be nice if Caleb's that dude and Ben's that guy. I'm not even saying like the best. Just be good. Like, can we be good? Like, can we have a top 10, 12 quarterback and a top half of the league head coach? That would be a good stepping stool based on where the Bears have been. Okay, guys, we are trying to get to our next milestone. We recently crossed 123,000 subs. Shout out to all of you. Trying to get to 124, 958 away. So if you want to join Bears Now and help this channel grow, hit that sub button, turn on notifications. Okay, Elite Run. Would you trade DJ Moore in a third for Christian McCaffrey? I don't think so. I mean, and I love McCaffrey, but he was coming off, both his Achilles had issues last year, a lot of mileage. He costs almost $20 million per year for a running back. I kind of view Christian McCaffrey year to year at this point, the amount of injuries he's had. So, look, could Christian McCaffrey help this team if healthy more than a healthy DJ Moore? Probably, but I don't think I'm sending DJ and a day 2 pick for a running back. Like, that's pretty difficult pill to swallow if you were to do that. Lucas Ewing, who's traded first in the next few years, DJ or Cole? Similar to the question earlier. Um, it's a good question. I think you'd get more back for DJ. Cole's contract is easier to move. I don't know. Like, what if Loveland comes in and catches 70 balls? Like, if some team gave you like a third round pick for Cole Kmet, would you take it? Like, you'd probably have to think about it in that scenario. So, I don't know. I want to say neither. I want to say both these guys are here long term, but it's not a guarantee based on how they've added this offseason. All right, how would you rank the NFC North teams this year? Like going into this year, rank them 1 to 4. Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings. How would you rank them? I'll probably do a full video on this, just like a NFC North offseason wrap up. Maybe we'll do that after like all the OTAs and minicamp and just kind of break down the division. But how would you rank them? Let us know. Bears, Packers, Lions, Vikings. Order them for us. Okay, DC Viper, which second-year quarterback will have the best breakout year? Will Caleb be the first Bears quarterback to break 4,000 passing? I did a video on Caleb and why there's a lot of reasons to believe he will and should take off this year. I do think there's a good chance he hits 4,000, but best breakout year, I'll go Caleb because Jaden and even Bo Nix a little bit kind of already broke out as rookies, but I think they all could be good. Like, I think even if Jaden has a slightly less season, like he's gonna be pretty good in all likelihood. Bo Nix, I don't think the ceiling is as high there, but I think he can be a solid player in a Sean Payton offense for a while. I'm still high on Drake May. I'm obviously very high on Caleb. I wasn't as high on JJ coming in, but he's in a great situation. I mean, Kevin O'Connell really knows how to work with quarterbacks. They rebuilt the interior of that offensive line, arguably the best receiver in football. They've invested more in the running game, so that's a pretty good situation if you're J.J. McCarthy. I liked Penix coming out. There's some long-term injury concerns there, but he can really spin the pill. I think this draft could be pretty good. If I had to guess which ones are most likely to not work out, I guess I would lean Penix and J.J., but I still think they have chances as well. Zach Fine, do you think we could be overestimating Jonah Jackson's ability to bounce back next season? It's certainly possible, right? My biggest concern, though, isn't really the player. It's, can he stay healthy? This is not a Tevin Jenkins situation, but like his game log the last few years is like 12, 13. He hasn't had a fully healthy season in a few years. So here's how I've looked at it, Zach. Joe Tooney replaces Tevin Jenkins at left guard. That is a big upgrade on the field, even though Tevin, when healthy, is good, but it's still a notable upgrade. And Tooney is extremely durable. He's missed 2 games in his entire career, I believe. And then I view Jonah Jackson, can he just be, at minimum, better than the Nate Davis, Matt Pryor situation? I thought Matt Pryor played admirably, but Jonah Jackson is a much more talented player. If he is better than that situation, then that's a win. Because I don't view Jonah Jackson having to be better than Tevin Jenkins. I view him having to be better than Nate Davis and Matt Pryor, and hopefully by a notable number because he does make a good amount of money. Brandon Caneva, what do the Bears do with Bagent? Well, he's under contract this year. It's interesting. Like, if the Bears go this whole season, Caleb plays all 17 games, and we don't see Bagent much, what does Bagent's market look like? He'll be a restricted free agent because that's where all UDFAs end up after year 3 if they get through their 3rd year. I think that's probably just you would tender him, and then you just see if a team throws some money. Like, could some team throw him $10 million to compete to be a bridge starter? I don't know. That's a tough one to project. How does Caleb play this year? If he's a little rocky up and down and they like Bagent's upside, maybe they would keep him at a decent penny just in case Caleb's not that guy. I don't know. But it really depends. I think that'll be a market decision. Like, if some team views him as, a guy who, if given the opportunity, could at least be a serviceable starter, he probably gets priced out. If not, I would like him back beyond this year. I think he's got really good backup traits, and, I kind of view him as Case Keenum type. I think he could have that type of a career where he's mostly a good backup, good teammate, reliable guy, but in a certain situation, I think he could start and have success. So kind of like Case Keenum has had at times in his career. So time will tell. Obviously, a lot of it is Caleb dependent. If Caleb really breaks out and has a good year, they're not going to overpay for Tyson Bagent to be the backup. But if there's still question marks there, then maybe they would be willing to do that. All right, really good questions today. Appreciate that, guys. Follow me on social media if you have more questions. I got to catch up on some DMs still post-draft, so I will work on that this weekend at HGramNFL, Twitter and Instagram. DMs are wide open. Bear down.